couple of years ago, a friend of mine bought this Sig MPX, and immediately he decided to upgrade the trigger with obvious reason, because the factory trigger that comes with this gun is actually really horrible. So basically he bought a drop-in trigger, and not long after that, problem starts coming in, hammer follow and jams and stuff like that. So he decided to buy another one, drop-in trigger, which is this one, Timney. And same thing happened, only after less than 100 rounds, same problem starts happening, hammer follow, etc., etc. So he basically put the gun aside and pretty much never used it. And then just recently he decided to ask me to help him install the factory trigger back, which is what I did. And right now it's fine, it's back to normal. So basically, a lot of people seem to think that MPX is basically an AR. I mean, they are if you look at it, but so people assume that they will take AR trigger. That's not the case. I'll show you guys why. But if you look at it, takedown pins, the selector, the trigger pins, all look pretty much standard AR, but they are not, like I said. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'm not going to remove the trigger for you in this video because I'm a bit too lazy right now. Now, if you look closely, this gun basically looked pretty similar to an AR, but they are not the same. Trigger-wise, look pretty much identical, but they are not the same. There's one thing that is not. There's one thing that's missing in normal AR triggers. This block right here. Now, Sig MPX have that block basically to prevent the hammer from hitting the disconnector every time the gun cycles. All right. Every time the bolt cycles the gun, the hammer is being pushed down like so, and that block is there to prevent the hammer from hitting whatever's underneath it. Now, without that block, this, for example, this Timney trigger, obviously that thing is going to hit the disconnector and basically damages the trigger system, basically. Now, Timney do come with a proprietary MPX trigger that comes with that block that covers this part right here. And back then, I think a lot of people do not realize that and seem to think that AR trigger will work on MPX, but that's not the case. So learn from my friend's mistake and do not put any AR trigger on MPX, because it will it's not going to destroy it, but it will damage your trigger, whatever trigger that you put in it, your trigger that is. And so like I said, please do your part and research, find information about it, and make sure that you do not do that mistake as my friend did. Thankfully, this gun is fine. There's no further damage done to this gun so far.